lots of folks don't get great response. So watching the numbers is not always a great deal. Hey guys. Again, I want to say this in case somebody said, hey, I want to go watch these guys live. And then you wonder why you just pop in and we're talking about nothing. But we do that each week and just kind of start with a little chatting and then get down to business afterwards.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I can hear myself. I hate that already. That way it's like a little extra, like something, as you're part of this, you get a little more than folks who come in later, which is fun.
Yeah.
I think Caleb must be there, and I think he shares it to the But Mostly Disney group. They used to not let me share it, and now they will, which is good. Somebody shared it, and it wasn't me. You know, depending on how you count these parades, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of overlap.
Mm-hmm. And then like what they brought back and what they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be kind of a quick, easy topic. It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's just check and make sure I'm in the center on this one too. Yeah. You still look good. All right. Well, let's get started because I got macaroni and cheese in the oven and I don't want to miss that.
Nice.
I do love some Stouffer's.
Now here's the next question: ketchup or no ketchup?
No ketchup.
No ketchup.
I don't think it's bad. Like I could eat it and I have eaten it, but I'm a purist. But I feel like there's a lot of things like that. Hello, Karen. I feel like there's a lot of things like that where I know that extra can be awesome and better, but I'm just happy with the way things are. So why change them?
I can agree with that.
All right. Well, hey guys, welcome to the But Mostly Disney podcast. I'm Tater. I'm one half of the team here and my friend on the other end, Andrew in Charleston, South Carolina.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Charleston.
I have a long story, but a friend of mine, I can't remember if I told you, who always said, no matter which way I'm facing, son, Charleston's always just over my left shoulder.
That sounds like some Rhett Butler stuff. Yeah.
He was. His name was Tag, and he was Charleston through and through. Well, we just did a podcast like 2 days ago. So hopefully you're not sick of us. Yeah, see, Karen's good with plain. We were talking about before we started if we put ketchup on our mac and cheese, and I said no, but I'm not against it. Like I can understand it. It's like scrambled eggs. Do you put ketchup on scrambled eggs?
No, my father-in-law did, but if it's homemade, crusty, topped mac and cheese, I'll throw some ketchup on it. If it's Velveeta shells and cheese or Stouffer's, plain. Just gotta leave it alone.
All right. Well, how about this? Since we're talking about weird stuff, meatloaf. I don't like ketchup on top of it. I don't dislike it, but I prefer it baked into. I prefer to put it on myself afterwards, as opposed to having that like red topping. Does that make sense?
I think I've only had it with the brown sugar ketchup on top of it.
Yeah, the way my mom does it is very different, and I love it. And then I douse it in ketchup, even though it's spectacular. I know. People are weird. I'm weird.
We're all weird.
We are all very weird. This is true. Well, what's not weird, but is long and detailed is the Disney parade list. Holy moly.
So Are we going by park?
Okay.
Are we going by overall?
I'm leaving out anything outside of the U.S. Oh, see, Turk says yes. Ketchup. There you go.
See?
Perfect.
Like the list I have has all the Magic Kingdom, has all the side parades, nighttime parades, Christmas, Halloween, other parades, don't know what that means, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, street shows, Animal Kingdom.
So I'm still stuck with Turk. He says ketchup inside and out. We may have to start the Meatloaf podcast.
We may have to. Peppers or no peppers?
Oh, my mom's comes back pretty pepperless. It's perfect. She also makes a perfect spaghetti sauce. Now, we're not Italian, so I'm not claiming that it's everyone. It's my perfect spaghetti sauce. I should be very clear on that. I fully realize that there is probably some long and classic criteria for perfect spaghetti sauce, but the way she makes it,
by hand.
I'm always worried she's going to start trying to mess with it. I'm like, please don't change. What you're doing is perfect. Don't go any further. And see, Karen says the same thing. Ketchup in and out. All right. So I was thinking about this when we were looking for a little topic, because you think about Disney and fireworks come to mind pretty quickly, right? Castles. I mean, what other icons do you think about when you think of Disney?
Food.
Food. But when you watch a commercial or look at a flyer, I bet you there's almost always a picture of a parade in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Parade and fireworks.
Right. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, we don't talk about it as much as we should. And I like knowing where these things came from and what they did and how they became what they are. And the parades people are passionate about it. Like, people are really excited. And I figure we'll get to that at the end. People are really excited about Disney having a nighttime parade. Oh, the Eiffel Towers. That's a good one, Karen. You're right. That was an icon. I kind of miss that. I'm glad they're putting the hat back, even if it's in a different,
yes,
not the actual hat. I really like the sorcerer hat for Hollywood. What's up, Caleb? And so these parades, right, have been going on, I mean, since the beginning. Right. Yeah. So I guess let's do that. Let's start with Disneyland and we'll run through them. And then from there, then we'll move over to Magic Kingdom. Does that make sense?
Works.
So 1955, opening day parade. And I was going to see if I could find some video of it, because that always makes a good audio podcast, is adding video in. But because I don't have them listed chronologically. But how many parades do you think Disneyland has had?
At least 30.
At least. All right, I'm going to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I mean, there's more like 40.
Yeah.
That includes holiday.
The Zorro Day Parade,
which they did twice, apparently.
Right.
Because it was so popular from the year before. And they do have some one-offs, right? Like they have, like I'm looking at this, they had Donald's 50th birthday parade in 1984, one time. Dumbo's Circus Parade, 1979. Mickey's 50th, 1978. Villain's Cursed Caravan in 2019. One shot. And everything.
Small World Parade one time.
Right. And then there's a couple that only ran, like Spirit of America, 87, 89. They had there's a Tencennial Parade in 81 and 82. And then I think there was a bicentennial one that was pretty cool that they had. And I've seen some video of that. It's kind of nice. In 1976. Turk says he's only coming back. He only does Disney World parades. 15 years of magic.
Hercules Victory Parade.
Right. And how long did that
That's
last?
97 and 98. So basically when the movie came out.
So really what you've got, and what's the biggest parade, right? It's got to be the Festival of Fantasy Parade. And that's been going on since 2014. Here's something else that I'm not 100% sure on, but I don't think Disneyland does a parade every day.
I know they don't do fireworks every day.
I just learned that from Andrew Prince, right?
Yes.
But according to what I saw, Magic Kingdom is the only park with a regular operational parade. And that has something to do with the way the park's designed, because folks can get in and out better.
Well, I didn't really, talk about these side parades on here. And it's like, what's a side parade? But I thought of it. We were sitting, I'm trying to think where we had done. I think we got off Pirates, went and grabbed some beignets last Friday, and we kind of sat in a shaded Pecos Bill area outside. And they did a character cavalcade like right at 11 o'clock. And it may have been 10 minutes worth of characters and like 2 floats. That was it.
Yeah.
And
just real fast. Not to mention, right. Not to mention the ones they do with, just a few characters sometimes when it's raining, and they put them in the cars. Right?
Cavalcade.
Spirit of America. Now they have a Halloween parade we've always seen, right?
Yep.
So in looking at that, you've got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parade, then the Boo to You parade.
Mm-hmm.
And then what goes on now there? I should have written these down in order, and I didn't. In Disneyland. Sorry.
Oh, Disneyland?
Right. So they do the Once Upon a Christmas Time parade, which, if I'm being honest, I don't love. Once Upon a Christmas
Harmony
Time
in Color parade is what's going on right now.
Mickey's Boo to You parade is currently their Halloween parade. Sorry.
Yeah. Disney's Harmony in Color Daytime Parade premiered April 16th, 2023. And it was first in Tokyo.
Now that's the other thing, right? Because the Main Street Electrical Parade started, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that started in California and then came here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
And Disneyland has a Move It, Shake It, Dance, Play It, and then they have their Festival of Fantasy Parade, which is the same as, is that the same as ours with the dragon?
Yeah.
I think so.
The combustible dragon, yeah.
I had this gone earlier, but it's okay. And that dragon's pretty spectacular, right?
Oh, yeah.
Does that operate this? No. Let's get to him, because I've photographed that thing about 100 times. There you go.
Yeah.
So, that dragon, if I'm picking best float, that has to be it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's absolutely incredible.
Unless you're talking about nighttime parade, then I'd have to say Elliot from Pete's Dragon is the best nighttime float.
Razzle dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I meant to drag that video up. Somewhere I do have that video of my kids in front of Elliot and him saying razzle dazzle. All right. So we know Disney World better, right? Like I did when I was just there, I did not see the Festival of Fantasy Parade. And that's what they're running in Disney World now too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, that is in Disney World. I had them backwards. What is Disneyland running?
Disneyland is the one I was talking about from Tokyo.
Okay.
Disney Harmony in Color.
Yeah, we did not see that. I didn't even hear it.
It might have been an off day.
All right, so the Main Street Electrical Parade in Disneyland ran from, it started in 72, and they've kind of had it going in and out over those times. And even though I agree, I think Paint the Night and Starlight Parade are better. Um, this one will always have a spot. There's your boy.
There's it.
I mean, it's
massive.
and it's just an awesome parade. It's just so much fun. But yeah, we did not stick around. And here's the other thing, right? Like I did watch the parade. Okay, and we are moving on to the East Coast now, just because you're back. We didn't really stop for parades. I have some parades videos from when the kids were little, but we would often go do other things because, I mean, you can look at any video of any parade and see how many people are there.
5 deep. That's our deal. We go catch roller coasters and whatever while everybody else is standing. It's like fireworks. This last time we caught a couple getting in a minivan leaving, but it was like, okay, no big deal. You know, we've seen, which is first world problems. I know, whoop de doo. You know, being that we get to go so much, but I don't really. If I don't get upset if I miss a parade or I miss the fireworks, it's just I'll be back later. Maybe I'll catch them then.
I feel like fireworks. So I will say though, the last 2 times I've been to Disney World, we have sat in front of the castle, gotten a spot, and watched them, and it is pretty awesome. But I can enjoy the fireworks from anyway. So
yeah, I will say, when we go, we're not going this year, but the last 3 years when we went to that Halloween party, I make sure I watch it because I love watching the grave diggers with the shovels.
I think the seasonal parades are totally different, right? I think they draw a different crowd, and it because it's not every day, you know, it just makes it a little more special. I think people line. Plus, with the theming, you know, you're there for Halloween. It's a great Halloween parade. I don't know that I've seen the Once Upon a Christmas Time at Christmas parade.
Seen that one yet?
I've seen the beginning of it, and then we went and did something else. So that being said, I did go watch the whole parade last time and these 2 nighttime parades, but we'll save those for later. So Main Street Electrical Parade was in Disney World, 77 to 91, and then 99 to 2001. Mm-hmm. And then this is the Disney Archive Project. They listed 2010 to present, but we know that's not true. 16, they got rid of it?
Yep.
So we got to see it pretty good. And was 2016, is that right? Is that the last time they'd had a nighttime parade there?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. All right, Karen says
we had 2001 to 2010, you had Spectra Magic, and then you had Main Street Electrical, and then there was nothing. All you had was the water pageant.
And how different was Spectra Magic?
I thought it was more musical influenced. Well,
interesting.
Aladdin, there's a genie playing orchestra.
Yep. So still same kind of thing though.
Yeah.
Just maybe not, at least again, all hate mail goes to Andrew. Not as exciting as Main Street Electrical Parade. I mean, that's so Cirque says Spectra was the best. Absolutely the best. I don't think I ever saw it.
I got to see it once.
And we would have been there because we started going in 2006, but I don't remember seeing it.
I remember seeing it in 2010 because that was on our honeymoon, and we brought our daughter and 2 of our best friends brought our daughter up, and I remember her face watching the nighttime parade, and I think not long after that is when they said, "All right, it's out of here." That's the only time I saw it was 2010.
I will say it's kind of cool. So this is the Disney Dreams Come True Parade, which then became Share a Dream Come True Parade. And they look pretty similar.
Well, I think the Share a Dream, the Disney Dreams, and Celebrate a Dream was all the same parade with a different banner.
I'm trying to get to the floats before I get to, you end up with the people in the middle. I mean, that's pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
Just carried the characters a little differently. All of these, by the way, again, I'll put it in the show notes or something. Not that we have show notes, but this parade master list is pretty spectacular, and everything on it has a link except for the Boo to You parade. I think it's the only one I've found that doesn't have a link.
Yeah, but you can go to YouTube and type that
Right.
in, and you can find 50 million of those.
It's just nice having just a link right here. Enchanted
absolutely.
Adventures, held during the Pirate and Princess Party. Mickey's All-American Birthday Parade, Spirit of America, 87-89, 15 Years of Magic, Mickey Street Party, Tencennial, Dumbo's Circus Parade, America.
They used to have not to cut you off, but I just thought of this.
Yeah.
They used to have a separate 4th of July parade, like it was geared to America. I don't see it on here.
I don't either. In either park.
Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Spirit of America parade. Never mind.
But what are the deer to that? That's 87-89.
88. But I swear I've seen one after that.
All right. So Karen says, remember the magic is the best. I mean, look, if I wasn't doing a podcast and I hadn't thought of this the other day, I would have never known there were this many parades. I also would have never known that Disneyland didn't do it every day, because it seems like such a thing we take for granted, right? That just every day there's a parade. And then you look at, so if you go watch these parades and you watch the videos, and going back real quick, I agree 100% that the Boo to You, even though I am a bona fide Christmas guy, like Christmas is my favorite holiday. I don't really even do much for Halloween, but I do love that parade. The Gravediggers, Headless Horseman. I mean, that's good storytelling.
Yeah. And I'm a Christmas guy like you, not just because it's my birthday, but
is it really?
Yeah. But I just like the Halloween parade much better.
I'm trying to find. Do you see the Remember the Magic parade on there?
No, not at all.
So this is from 1998, and because that one I didn't see on my list.
Oh, Remember the Magical Moments parade. Yeah.
Okay, it's on there.
96 to 01.
I don't want to look away too much, because then I'll get distracted and might not come back. But I mean, okay, if you don't join us in the chat, you should, because you're missing out on stellar content like this. But look at just the choreography, the costumes, and how long did this run? You see it on there, the dates?
This is from 96 to 01.
So, I mean, that's 5 years. I guess that's solid, right? You're getting your money's worth out of that. And I don't know if they disassemble them when they're done. Do they keep them in a warehouse somewhere? I mean, they'd have to be running out of warehouses at some point in time.
All the parades they've had, yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like we've seen this float with Minnie on it since then.
Possibly.
This looks very familiar.
It's funny, though, if you look at it, they've got Mickey and Minnie early in the parade, where most of them now are there at the end. And I remember, as we're moving through this, I remember the other park. I don't remember ever seeing a parade at Epcot.
Yeah, I remember Hollywood Studios having a parade. Yeah,
I remember Hollywood Studios, and I feel like I remember, like, at Epcot every now and again, maybe like Rapunzel going by on a car, or, just kind of spontaneously showing up and moving around, but not literally.
Remember the double-decker bus and all the characters hanging out of it? That's the only thing I remember.
At Epcot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had Tapestry of Nations, which it only ran once, and in 2000. And again, although it seems like walking around.
That's a big parade area.
Yeah, it seems like you'd have room. It seems like you could really figure out how to do that there. But maybe they don't need it. Maybe there's a reason they don't do these things. I mean, like we were talking about the other night, why not have Star Wars nights anymore? Why not have all these things? because maybe on the East Coast you just don't need this kind of entertainment
Mm-mm.
because you have so many people there already. I would not be a good cameraman. I keep meaning to go back before I minimize. I'm not good at it. And then Animal Kingdom had the Jungle Jammin' Parade. I don't have a date on that.
01 to 14.
And that seems like that could have been tough to run. Right? Like,
It's not very wide in those areas to have a parade.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Magic Kingdom, even though every now and again I've been a little trapped and miffed that I had to walk around something to get somewhere. Because it also feels like every time I go there, when I want to get around the corner or cut through the castle, it's closed down for the fireworks. But that's really more my problem than someone
I
else's.
can't tell you the last time the center of the castle has been open.
This parade's not great.
Mm-mm.
At least not from the video. I'm sure it was beautiful in person. And then Hollywood had a bunch. And the last one I remember seeing was the Pixar one, I think.
One thing that's not on here, and it really wasn't a parade in Hollywood Studios, but they had the March of the First Order.
Yeah. I liked that too.
I did too. Not that it's a parade. It could have been like a sideshow or a street show or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was always an interesting thing to watch.
All right. How about this one? Again, if you guys are at home, it's just like a home movie slideshow. But there was an Ace Ventura parade.
Yes, I remember that.
Wow. I mean, it looks more like a show than a.
Yeah.
But that's something. You know, it's interesting. I hadn't really thought about it till just now, but I do feel like when Disney does something, it's to a little bit, and I'm okay with, again, I don't hate Epcot. Dirk says that the Animal Kingdom parade was sad. And I don't think they want sad parades. All right, so here's this. He mentions the Stars and Motorcade parade. Let's take a look at that. But some of these look kind of universally, don't they? Like that's one thing that they do at Disney that I think is a little better is it feels a little more, and maybe it's my own personal bias, right? Because I just love the characters so much. And they're not real characters, right? So maybe you can make a facsimile in a person that doesn't just look like somebody in a wig. And I think Hollywood also, didn't they used to have every now and again somebody famous roll through?
Mm-hmm.
Jojo the Clown, I'd forgotten about that. But I feel like
in the back of a car.
Yeah, they'd have somebody, not necessarily, George Clooney or somebody, but somebody coming by.
Like it was like Marty Sklar or
I'll take that.
Yeah, somebody like to work for Disney that everybody saw on TV, or somebody from the Disney Channel or something like that.
They had a Milan. Yeah, the Pixar Play Parade, Caleb, that's the one that I remember the most. And again, I feel like parades just were not on our radar when we'd go to the parks. Now, we were in Hollywood 2 years ago, and they had, must have been 3 years ago, and they had a couple folks come by on some cars, Goofy, Mickey and Minnie, just in the back of a Corvette convertible, like sitting on the back.
Yep.
Not really a parade, but just popping by, just a little treat, a little sampler platter.
Sampler. I thought was neat was they're starting to let characters roam in different areas, because we saw Captain Hook between Small World and Peter Pan, and then we're walking a little bit towards Fantasyland, the new part, and Flynn Rider and Rapunzel were walking around. I'm like, wow, that's kind of odd. You never see that on the East Coast.
Right. And it's getting better. I've also seen, now I haven't seen it recently, but I've also seen a lot of characters in hotel lobbies.
Yes. They do it at the beach club a lot.
Yeah, I've seen it there. I've seen it at Boardwalk, where they've just got some characters. That's true.
They got a van. It's a looks like a party limo, and it says Mickey and Pals on it. And they ride around at the resorts. They unload and they go inside.
Ah, yeah. So when Hollywood first opened, that's what Jay's saying, is there was a star for the day, TV stars.
Yeah.
But what I really came to talk about is the 2 nighttime parades. Have we covered everything here? I mean, I know this isn't a comprehensive. I mean, I could sit here and play videos of old parades, but again, I really, it's Disney Archive Project, and I highly recommend you. I've never seen this website, but it has like links all in one place to, before we move on, and since it'd be a good transition into nighttime parades, how about electrical water pageant?
Oh yeah. My girls just experienced that for the first time because I don't know why we've never, staying at the Wilderness Lodge. They saw it for the first time. Why we never brought it up to them, I have no idea. Bad parenting on my behalf.
Yeah, come on, Andrew, tighten up.
Sorry. Forgive me.
I love it. I love the music. I love everything about it. And that hasn't changed much, I don't think.
No.
Oh, that's even, see, this is why I love the chat. Everybody with a handprint had a parade. So all those folks who did their handprints, they had a parade to go do their handprints. I wish they still did that. And I know the park's changing. Hey, Jason, how's it going, buddy? So he says that during the hurricanes, they had people in the definitely in the arcade and doing activities. And I wonder if it's just because we're ill behaved on the East Coast, or is it? I mean, because that's the idea, right? It seems like they get swamped. And I've the popular ones, like I haven't seen Mickey and Minnie, like they're still hidden away a little bit.
Right.
But I even saw some lady swarming one of the country bears, who's just out front trying to do a little, just say hi and a song, and they kind of got a skit going. You got the guys playing guitar up on the roof, and some ladies like literally slowly creeping into the frame to do it. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
So maybe East Coast, and again, maybe it's the same thing because they're locals on the West Coast. They see them more. So maybe it's our fault over here. All right. So I will start, and I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but I've seen now both of the nighttime parades. And while I do think they are both incredible, it's hard not to pick a clear winner. Now, this was opening night, so this crowd was crazy. I got there 3 hours early to make sure I had the spot I wanted. And that's incredible, right? And keep in mind, the camera doesn't even come close to do it justice. It is Main Street electoral on steroids. And it's awesome. I love the floats. I did an Instagram post of each one. If you haven't been there to see it yet, they are beautiful. Sorry, it's moving too fast. Encanto, they are gorgeous. I love hearing that voice. Ladies and gentlemen, the lighting will be changing. Please stay where you are. To keep us all safe. A little Let It Go, a little Frozen. This was by far the longest float of the parade. It went on and on and on. It was huge. I'm surprised they even got it around the corners. And I don't know, Disneyland, it ran from the front of the park as well. And I think Karen, when we talked about this last time, said They do that. Otherwise, it's already bad trying to get out, but it would be a nightmare coming out of this park if everybody was following the parade up. Although a great time to ride rides. This Coco one, look at the back of the Coco one. How cool is that? I think that was my favorite. I did like the Ray, and this went up and down. And these are gorgeous. I mean, really, really pretty. But it does seem odd to me that as gorgeous as that is, that this one could, in my opinion, be so much better. Like, I mean, almost in a different category. Look at Tinkerbell. Look, that effect alone, even if you didn't have those lights behind it, would be amazing.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Starlight parade because it rained, but just watching them both, it just seems like the one in Disneyland is a whole lot brighter.
And I don't think it's the camera.
I'm just saying that's just looking at it from a camera.
I mean, look at the... maybe I will try to pull it up. Again, this is great audio. Karen, I didn't think it was too short. I thought it was just the right length. In fact,
cast member told me it was 12 minutes exactly.
Starlight?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's plenty, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, especially, well, I'd been sitting there since 6 o'clock, so I was kind of ready for it to be over as much as I was in love with it. But no, I disagree. People said that about Tron too. I don't think Tron needed to be a longer ride. I think it's fine. Could I stay on it longer? Yeah, I wish I could just ride it twice. You could just let's set it in a loop until I'm done. But no, I thought both of these parades, I guess I could, well, I wouldn't be able to talk and do it at the same time and figure out how long they were, but they felt about the same, right? There were a couple of gaps, and I imagine that happens every now and again. And that's what happens, right? You get a float, and then, I mean, you can see here, there's not much in front of it. What they do well is the music. I assume, like, if you look back here, well, it's not going to matter on here. The music matches the floats, right? As they're going by.
Paint is 17 minutes long.
Okay, so a little bit longer.
Yeah, 5 minutes longer. Well,
I didn't.
I think it's because the end of the paint the light is cars, correct?
No, end is Mickey.
Okay.
But
that's towards the end, though, right?
It is.
That's a fairly big float.
It is a big float. It is a huge float.
Right. For a Mack truck and a trailer, that's a pretty big float.
The whole thing was incredible. But it's like, it was even just the type of lighting effects that they used that I thought were better. I'm glad I saw Starlight first. How about that? Because after I was done, I would have been disappointed in Starlight if I'd seen it first. And disappointed is a strong word, right? Like, it's still amazing. Again, I'm not upset with the parade. Sorry.
Yeah, look at this. This is ridiculous. I guess I'm biased because I'm a Lightning McQueen guy. I want that here.
Okay, but here's the thing, and this is yeah, that's a good point. It is a lot of the same colors, and maybe that's why I like the Cocoa float. So Turks Jay says it's a lot. Yeah, and see, I try to be really positive about it, and I am, because I still like Starlight. But look at the street, look at the lights, look at the spotlights, look at everything is lighting up. It truly is, you're right, a splash of color. But this is what blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the side of this truck, and those are just those. It's not LED.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of individual strands of like Christmas light balls. And look look at the level of detail. I mean, look at that. That's insane. That just looks crazy. In fact, what I thought was interesting is look, we got a nodder right on the back.
Yeah.
I felt like Mickey and I thought these jellyfish were cool. Like they were pretty wild. I thought Slinky Dog was incredible, but look at the lighting on the float. Right? I mean, those little tubes sticking up, that's a better lighting effect than most of Starlight Parade got, I think. And I know there's a lot of that going around. I know a lot of people see it, but look at those spinning wheels.
I think that's pretty cool. That's supposed to eliminate a light bright.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, I kind of felt like, I mean, look at the screen there. That's wild. And it really did just light up the whole thing. And then they had a Frozen one. And if I'm being honest, even though I think this looks good, but then after the other ones, maybe that is the comparison between Starlight. I thought the street performers were really, really good in Disneyland. And I think they had a better opportunity to be good. I loved these guys, right? They were a lot of fun, but I almost felt like Mickey kind of got gypped. Like I felt like his float could have been cooler. And it's not too shabby, right? Like it's pretty amazing. But like after Mac goes by, it's hard to recover from how incredible that was. And it's so funny. It's like complaining is not the right word, even though I'm not complaining. The Starlight Parade is still spectacular and you should go watch it. But this parade really had me drawing my breath in and mesmerized. Or so, even though I loved Starlight.
Turk said they gave the Magic Kingdom a better than nothing parade.
So,
which I think, if I remember the when they were talking about it, it was the colors are really based off Cinderella. So for some reason, I remember seeing a poster during D23, and it had the coach like in the background coming around. So I'm thinking that maybe where they got the darker purplish colors from.
All right, so this brings up something I was actually thinking about. So Turk says, as a resident of Central Florida, most of what we get is subpar to what California gets. We're a tourist park, and it's about quantity over quality.
Yep.
Now we have a nighttime parade, check. And at first glance, that might seem like a little bit of sour grapes. But having just gotten back from Disneyland, I kind of see, or I was wondering the same thing. Like in my head, I was trying to figure it out because there's so much about Disney I don't know. I learn something new every day. My Disney IQ is so much lower than the people I rotate around, right? Like everyone in Virginia thinks I'm the Disney guy. And then I talk to someone else. I'm like, wow, I know so little, right? Which is why it's great having a co-host, because Andrew and I's expertise is often in different spots and we've seen different things at different times. But going through Disneyland this time and through a different lens with a little more time to look around, I was wondering, like, is it because they're closer to Imagineering that they get better stuff? Like, do people come from California and get forced to work on Florida? Do they ship stuff out, or is it in-house in Florida? Because
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, it does seem at first glance like there is a difference.
There is, because think about it like this. Look at the stuff they have in Paris and Tokyo and Shanghai Pirates is probably, I've never seen it, but I hear it's the best pirates out there. Why does it seem like Walt Disney World is the Redheaded stepchild.
It is interesting. And okay, so bringing up pirates, that's a great one. How about this? Because everyone could have a different opinion. Like I still, Orlando Pirates is my favorite. It always will be. No matter if I ever get to go to Shanghai and see that, I will still hang my hat on the Orlando Pirates because it's the one I saw as a kid and that's what I love.
Oh, I agree.
But how about food? Like I look at some of these Tokyo Disney videos and I'm like, why don't they bring that food over? Because everyone here would eat it. Everyone here would photograph it. So what's keeping them from copying that? And I know Lou Mangello has said he's glad they didn't bring a Cars Land, and now they are kinda, but not the same one. Bringing, something different. But so now you have to go to Disneyland to get that experience. To go sit in Flo's Diner or go to a Cozy Cone, you've got to go to the other park. And I do think, hey, Andrew, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. And yes, this is very true as well. Sorry, I keep bringing up Turk's comments, but you're right. And we discussed this last week. It is a locals park, right? So they need to draw people back. I imagine why they are reticent to do overlays. Because if you've got someone coming from England and this is their one trip and they don't get to see Haunted Mansion the way it was intended, then they're going to be mad. And we know as Disney people.
What's the difference between me coming from Charleston and going to Disneyland and it's overlaid?
True. But you're not going to come back with a season's pass, probably, right? So you come once and you miss something, but it's and I think we talked about this, but I've been in restaurant business my whole life. And we had this thing that like one regular is worth like 20 transient customers. So holding on to those regulars in Disneyland seems to be a lot more important than it is in Disney World because it's just going to it would succeed in spite of itself, right? Because people are going to be happy because they want the same things. They want that experience that their friend talked about from 10 years ago.
I think it was Lisa that said it on a nation call one night. Disney company does not like us because we're annual pass holders.
Right.
And I was like, at first I was like, what? But the more I think about what she said, she's right. Because we can go for a weekend, spend minimal money, because we're like, hey, I'm going to be back in 6 months or 3 months. And we're not buying the 2025 Disney sweatshirt. And, unless it's something we really got to have, we're not spending the money that the family from Idaho's coming down for 8 days. They got 4 kids and I got to buy 12 fast passes and a Dumbo sweatshirt and, because we're not coming back for another 5 years.
Well, that's a good question, Turk. You live in Central Florida. How often do you go and do you buy merch every time you go? So I've stopped buying a lot of stuff. That is correct. You can't compare the two. They're very different parks, and I assume they're very different business models as well. But I buy something every time I'm there. We eat a lot of food there. I can tell you that I spend as much money on a weekend trip, if you extrapolated it out to 7 days, as I would if I were vacationing once a year or once every 2 years. Like we still go to the restaurants. What I have stopped doing is buying everything I love because my house is going to collapse in on itself with all of the Andrew was just giving away stuff from his home that just there's no spot for it anymore. Yeah. So like my buddy says, take a picture of it, love it, move on. If it's not going to fit in the life raft, then there's really no point in having it. And that's kind of how I've gotten.
Well, if you look behind me, I got 2 droids that one I built, one my daughter built. We brought them home. They've sat there since I brought them home.
Right. But at least when you look at them, they're cool.
Oh, yeah. I remember her and I built them together. Right.
Right. So there is some component of nostalgia and memory. It's not just something you had to brag about, but I don't know. Sometimes I look around like, what am my poor kids when I die? There's going to be all this junk that they don't want. And I can't throw it away because I'm very sentimental. So it's hard for me. Right. Like when I was in Disneyland, I really wanted to do that key thing, right?
Oh, the
the light
giant
up,
key. Yeah.
the giant
Yep.
key that lit up. And I was so excited and I'd planned on it. I knew I was going to do it. And when I got there, I'm like, maybe I'll wait. Right?
Okay, so I told you I bought the Dark Falcon,
Yes.
the Leggett. I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna get the frame and put it where this picture behind me is. It took me 3 trips to buy it. I'd look at it, grab it, I'd put it back. Look at it, grab it, put it back. My wife was, "Would you buy the thing?" I'm like, "Well, I just can't make myself buy it." And I finally did.
Okay. So Turk says they eat on the way and don't spend money in the park. I get it, because if you're going to go, so like my wife and I were talking about, or Jeremy Goff. Remember Jeremy Goff?
Yeah. Yep.
Not remember him. Do you know Jeremy Goff? If you don't know, he does Golf Stock on Friday nights. If you want to listen to some music and have some fun, you should go check him out. He's a lot of fun. Very talented artist. I've been trying to get him to get his t-shirts and stuff going again because it's
Oh yeah.
it's
I have
really
a wall
good.
of golf I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So I met up with him and his wife, and we took a walk all the way around Magic Kingdom and just talked. And I thought to myself, I'm like, if I lived here, I would pop in and do that maybe a couple times a week. I really enjoy the atmosphere. And maybe it would get old. I mean, I can't see the future, but really enjoyed doing that. And I'm like, I didn't spend any money except for the $1,500 or whatever it is, for the Incredipass, which I have to have here,
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe locals do get a little bit of the short stick in Orlando.
I will say, it felt weird going to Epcot and there was no festival going on.
Yes.
That was
That
odd.
is so
That was
true.
very odd. It's like, is it closed up for the winter?
The only thing I will say, and I brought this up to my wife, I'm like, what are they going to do with the building? It's because it's going to look weird if they're not open. It's going to look like something's missing. But they don't look out of place to me.
No, they don't.
Like I thought I would look at them and think they were eyesores. Yeah. So McDonald's and Disney World. What a great Saturday.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm so jealous. I wish I could have that luxury. But, I go probably 8 times a year, right? There's a couple months where I can't get away. So I've been going 8 times a year on my own. I still eat good food when I go. I have gone down for a day and really not spent much money and just filmed some stuff and moved on. Yeah. But I don't know. The whole world's getting so expensive. It's making Disney not look as expensive as it once was.
That's for sure.
I mean, it's hard to get a steak out for less than $50 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I asked earlier, Andrew. He said the same thing. Okay, he says they do have a WDW and a team there. But I wonder if it's the same.
It doesn't feel like they put as much energy in, and I don't, outside looking in, don't feel like they put as much energy into the East Coast as they do the West Coast. Just like I said, the other day and I don't understand why they can't do this. And if there's an Imagineer listening, let me know. They had a Star Wars day, like a weekend, like this one weekend at Disneyland. And they had it, I looked on the website. It had been advertised on, Disney's website. This is what was going on. We had Star Wars weekends. It was like a whole month, but just throw a little Star Wars bone out there to us Star Wars people. Hey, we're going to have an event at Hollywood Studios and Black Spire Outpost. You don't have to have the food and all, but just have, some type of event like they had in Disneyland. If you happen to be at Disney World that time or want to be there for it, you can get there for it. But
or a really good May the 4th celebration, right?
Something.
Like we went down and and I had a great time. So I mean, maybe that tells you something. They don't have to do it because you're going to come anyway. But we went down and it was fun because of the people that were there. But really, it was just merch, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was I mean, all those lightsabers in front of the Falcon was incredible. But, Disney didn't have anything official going on. They didn't have Darth Vader dancing with stormtroopers like they used to have. They still haven't put Jedi Academy back up.
I'm surprised they haven't done that. It's a big money. I would assume that was a big money maker for them.
Well, they didn't charge for it, did they?
But oh yeah,
No, they didn't. It was free.
I thought they did.
Uh-uh.
Oh, I thought you had to pay for it like anything, everything else.
No, that was you just signed up for that. You just had to get there early to do it. It was basically an attraction.
I thought you had to pay for it.
Mm-mm. And it was awesome. But I mean, even look, I would stop and watch other people's kids do it, right?
Yeah. Waiting for the one kid to turn to the dark side.
Right. But this is the attitude you've got to be careful of, and something that I feel like again, and I'm pretty naive, and I'm okay with that. But in any business, you know, when you've set a bar so high like Disney has, and it's one of the reasons that we are all such big fans. You know, when you set the bar that high, and then you start to take it for granted, it can be a problem. I mean, again, I like to be positive, and I love Disney. But they're like any family member, right? You're gonna fight a little bit. You're gonna have things that go wrong. But that Haunted Mansion queue is bad. Like it's bad Imagineering.
In Disneyland?
Mm-hmm. So they're right there. And, you know, my buddy Ken Bruce, which if you haven't read his book, Before the Birds Sang Words, please do. It's incredible. Awesome. Now available in audio. But, you know, he said you could tell when Imagineering does something and when the accountants do it. You know, because if you go look up pictures of that queue, it looks like you just hit the Lowe's Halloween section. It's bad. And then he brought up, and these are the kinds of things I might notice subconsciously, right? Because God's in those details. But the crypt, they did an above ground crypt, and it doesn't make any sense. On one side, it's got two doors. They're of an even height with different headpiece. They don't match. And then one says cast members only. So it's a real door to something, which really breaks the illusion, right? I mean, even if they just put deceased cast members only or something.
Right, something that blends in with the...
And I feel like that was one of the things, if you look around at a lot of things done at Disney and you look at the detail that is there, I mean, it's just incredible. It's stuff that doesn't matter, right? It's stuff that you didn't have to do. And I think sometimes that's what carries the most weight, at least for me, because then you see it like in I'm not trying to be all weird and transcendental and holistic, but you see it even if you don't recognize it, right? You don't really know it's there. Like I haven't posted this picture yet, but I thought this was a good one. Can I make it full screen? I don't care. Like look at that little bit of detail in there. I mean, that's pretty wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think there were 4 of them. You know, if I keep forgetting if you're yeah. We have so Disneyland is not my cue, Turk. I live in Virginia and Orlando's my park, but yeah, there is a wall where there was once a river, but I can't open that can of worms. Well, I'm going to wait until it's done. But look at the detail here. And there were like 4 of those. So they're either handmade or, you know, custom made. You know, it's not like they made them for all the parks. And, you know, of course, the more you make things, the easier it is to, you know, to scale as far as cost goes and everything else. But you do something like that, and I'm just standing in a line, and it's not an interactive queue, right? It's just a queue, and I'm looking at that going, wow, that's really cool. Just really cool.
Send your hate mail to me, but I'm an Epcot guy. Love Epcot. I think my wife has grown on me with Epcot. But you talk about what Ken Bruce said, when Imagineers imagine something and accountants get a hold of it. Look at what we got where the fountains used to be, Fountain of Nations used to be, and Communicore Hall and all that. We got, you know, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. You can sit with Walt, get your picture taken. There's nice seating areas, but that's not what we were told we were getting. And then Kanto stage, and you got a hall that, you know, they serve mac and cheese at during the Food and Wine Festival, but not even close to what we told we were going to get when they said they were going to reimagine the front half of And I thought we were going to get it because they put the columns back up out front. I'm like, okay, we're going retro here, great. And then we get some chairs with charging ports and a little garden,
It's funny.
lights that don't work.
So my daughter just started working at a restaurant for the end of summer before she goes off to college next week. And I was telling her, I asked her one day, I was like, you know what time you're getting off? She's like, no. I'm like, don't ever try to get off. Like, don't ever think about getting off early. If you get cut, that's great. Like if you were expecting to work till midnight and you get off at 9:30, then that is wonderful.
That's a bonus.
But when you go in and you think you're getting off 9:30 and then you have to stay until midnight, you're just crushed. So always, hope for the best, expect the worst kind of thing. And that's what I think and hope that they are doing with some of this blue sky stuff. Either making sure we know that it's not real, but you put that out there and then just go so far the other direction.
Yes.
It's disappointing, right?
Somebody asked me, have you looked at the villains poster? I'm like, I saw it. I haven't put much faith in it because if you look at the bottom of it, they have a roller coaster going through a waterfall. Is that just blue sky art to make it look good? Or are you really going to make an underground roller coaster?
Yeah, you don't want to get excited.
Yeah,
because you're worried you're going to be let down. And the problem is even if it's awesome, if it's different, then how do you feel? You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. All right. As always, I love it when the conversation drifts. That's why it's fun to have a topic, but I don't ever need to stick to it. And Turk, thanks for coming in because a lot of good perspectives there. I really appreciate that.
Sure. Thanks for joining in.
I just put up a new video last night. You should go. Speaking of, you want to see detail and going above and beyond. The Mai Kai restaurant in Fort Lauderdale. It is, I think this is their 65th year, with a couple years down because they had a pipe burst and the ceiling caved in. They did a $20 million renovation on this restaurant. And though I didn't see concept art, it has to be above and beyond what they were expecting to do. There's not a square inch of this building that is not spectacular. So if you hate me, that's fine. Turn the sound down and go watch this video because it's just unreal. It's so good. I mean, I think I said wow like 900 times. I actually apologize for it because it's such a cool place. And if you're near there or if you're in Central Florida looking for a little day trip or an overnight, it was great. Food was good. Service was good. But the experience was just unbelievable. So that's what's new up on YouTube. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on my good friend Katie Fox. If you don't remember her, she was on an episode of our podcast here, but I don't know what.
Early on.
Yeah, early on. And she's fantastic. She works for the company we use for all this, Ecamm, and she's wonderful. And she has a podcast, same thing like the way we do it, a live podcast. Tomorrow night, we're going to be watching a Goofy movie, going over that. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to go rewatch that again. That was episode 18. But I'm going to be on her podcast and we're going to talk about a Goofy movie. So Caleb, I know you know it pretty well. So you should pop by tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on YouTube. And that's called the VHS Club. VHS Club. So I don't get on other people's podcasts very often, so I'm nervous as always, but it should be fun. And then other than that, just keep following us on social media. Andrew, when's your video popping up on your YouTube channel?
I'm working on it tomorrow, and it'll be up Thursday.
There you go.
6 o'clock.
I've been trying to do
Sunday Day in Magic Kingdom.
There you go. And even if it's bad, just put it up because
it's going up. I've learned that. Just put it.
That's up. What I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. And as always, if we can do anything for you, please let us know. I think we can do next Tuesday as well. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Tuesday. Any ideas? Please give them to us.
Yeah, do that. Either DM us on here or you can email me. I know I tell you to send the mail to Andrew, but at Tater at but mostly Disney.com. Something you want to hear us research and talk about, please shoot it over. And thanks for coming. Thanks, Caleb, Andrew Prince. Appreciate it. Karen, always a pleasure. Turk, thanks for joining us. And who else came by? Jason popped in. I mean, it's nice. I try to build a little community because Lou can only do Wednesdays with us, right? So we need Lori Putnam came in and she talked about the gaps in the parade and people shooting across. I'm too embarrassed to do that. It makes me nervous. Plus I'd make fun of the people who do it. So if I do it myself, then I can't do it. I feel like I lose credibility.
You can't do that.
All right. So join us next week. Thanks for coming. And I hope you guys have a great week.
Have a good night.